Hi folks, Scott Weaver with Factory Direct Window Treatment. I just want to go over a few points on this swag. A few of you have asked me if I could make them a swag pattern for your projects, and so I went ahead and I've made a few up and I've sent them to you with the small cost, of course. But I've had a couple of people ask me a few questions about these patterns that I've sent. Well, the first thing you'll notice is that it's sent to you in full. It's already pleated, and it's the annoying part probably to you is I've got staples at the top that you have to pull out. And you'll also notice that there is a line going straight across, and that indicates your center point of your swag. And also, the reason why I send it to you all pleated up is because when you take these staples out, the creases are already going to be here. So when you get this in the mail, pull these staples out and practice using this particular swag, pleating it, because it's already going to have the memory. That's just going to give you an idea of how to pleat it. Now the second thing is another reason why there's a line here is so you can cut this pattern in half. And this pattern is quite adjustable. This happens to be a 40 wide by 18 inch drop. And you can make this swag up to 44 inches wide or down to 36 inches wide. So it's adjustable about 8 inches. And that's an important feature that you should know about it. And I'm going to show you how to do that, because people say, well, how do I adjust my swag? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to put this one to the side for a second. And I'm going to lay out this piece of material. And what you have to do is you have to fold it in half. And after you've cut your swag pattern, you're only going to use half the swag pattern. Now, here's your half of the swag pattern. Now, let's say you want this swag pattern now, instead of being 40, you want it 36 inches. Now, you got your fabric folded in half. What you're going to do is you're going to put it on your fabric, and you're going to let the center part of this, just like this, go over. And you're just going to take a tape measure. Since you know it's already 40 inches wide, or whatever size that I sent to you, you're going to take 2 inches, and you're going to hang this off by 2 inches. Now don't forget, this is folded in half, so really what's happening is you're losing 4 inches in the width of your swag. So once you have that, you're going to stick your stick your plenty of pins around here, and you're going to cut it out. But that's how you adjust it. Let me put it this way so you can see it a little bit better. All you have to do is hang off the material. If you wanted this to 38 inches, just take this and bring it over your material by 1 inch. And don't forget, you've got your fabric folded in half. Now, the same applies if you want to make this swag pattern wider. Then you go ahead and say you want it 2 inches wider. Well, then you're going to go ahead and put this over by 2 inches. And you're going to put plenty of pins in. And it's going to look like that. So you can see it. Now you'll notice the bottom of it, all you're going to do is follow this shaping around when you cut it. That's all you have to do. Just eyeball it and cut it. And that will bring you a larger swag up to 44 inches. Now another point that I'd like to make, I'm just going to bring this over a little bit more. If you're using narrower fabric, and you happen to have this going on, where the swag doesn't go all the way over, and I know this is really stretching it a lot, but I want to show you what happens. Okay, so you've got, say, this much, but it doesn't matter. You can have as much as you want. Now, all you really have to do on this, make sure your fabric's folded in half. All you want to do is add a little piece here. And what I do is I take my scissors And I'm going to put a notch there, and a notch here. And then I'm going to add whatever that is, and let's say, okay, that's going to be 4.5 inches. So now you notice on the top of this, you have all this extra up here. So all you're going to do is cut out a 4.5 inch square of fabric. You don't have to cut another whole piece, because you're going to have all the, because of how these go. So just cut yourself out a 4.5 inch piece of fabric. Take it over to your sewing machine and sew it to each piece. You'd have it here, like that. I'll pull this over. And then over here. So you're not cutting out a whole thing. And then you can go ahead, once this is sewn on, you press your seam a little bit. You'd have it like this. Now you can go ahead and cut it out. Now it wouldn't really matter, even except for maybe a plaid, even if it's a flowered fabric. Don't try to match this. You don't have to match it. It's an overall look with the swag. It's going to look fine without it being matched. So keep that in mind. And lastly, I want to go over cutting a swag on the bias, which was another question somebody had. Should I cut my swag? Which one looks better? Well, a bias swag, which I've covered this before, a bias swag will give you a rounder looking swag because now the fabric is cut on the diagonal, and it forces the material to contour better. But there's also, in saying that, you can also have some repercussions for doing it, and I'm going to show you what that is in a second. Now to cut your swag on the bias, which this is not, this is regular, what you can do is you open up your material. Now you're going to fold it diagonally, corner to corner, like this. Then you're going to put your swag on here. And you've got the same option, whether you do it this way or not, on bringing it in or bringing it out, however you want to do it. But I want to show you what happens. And this might not be a pleasant look if you're using a striped fabric, if you have draperies. But I'm not going to cut this whole thing out, but I'm going to show you what happens when you cut something on the bias. I'm not going to cut out each one of these. Now when I open this up, I want you to notice on here, if you can see it, that the fabric is now going on a 45. So if this is a striped fabric, your jabos are going to go horizontally and vertically, but your swag would go on a 45. So you may not like that look. Though it does make a better swag, it does make a rounder swag, but it still might not be what you're looking for. So anyway, you can email me if you have any more questions regarding these swags. If you need me to make up a swag pattern for you, I'll be happy to do it. They're $35 each, unless it's something outrageously large. I charge you more. I also ship out UPS. I'm not really in the business for selling swags, but some people may ask me to do it, so I thought I'd go ahead and try to explain a little further in detail on how to adjust your swag. Anyway, you'll find my information at the end of this video. Thank you very much. Scott Weaver from Factory Direct Window Treatments.